Have you ever locked your phone, hidden a password, or kept a secret that nobody else knows? It feels completely normal today. But here's a strange question. What about the first humans? Long before houses, doors, and technology existed, did people still want privacy? At first glance, the answer seems obvious. Ancient humans lived in small groups, slept close together, and spent nearly every moment surrounded by others. There were no bedrooms, no fences, and certainly no do not disturb signs. It sounds like a world where privacy simply couldn't exist, but the reality may be very different. Scientists studying chimpanzees, our closest living relatives, have observed something fascinating. Chimps often hide food from stronger members of the group and sometimes conceal their intentions from rivals. In other words, they already understand the value of keeping information to themselves. If our animal relatives can do that, imagine what happened when humans developed larger brains and more complex social lives. Evidence from ancient burial sites suggests that early humans viewed each person as a unique individual. They carefully buried their dead, sometimes placing special objects alongside them. This wasn't just about disposing of a body. It showed respect for a person who had their own identity and their own story. And once you recognize individual identity, the idea of personal ownership isn't far behind. Anthropologists studying traditional hunter-gatherer societies have found that privacy doesn't always require walls. Instead, it can be created through social rules. Certain places, conversations, or activities are simply left alone. Everyone understands the boundaries without needing them to be physically built. In other words, privacy can exist inside culture long before it exists inside architecture. Then there's another clue: ancient art. Some of humanity's oldest paintings were created deep inside caves, far from daily living areas. Reaching these locations often required a difficult journey through darkness. Why create beautiful images where almost nobody would see them? One possibility is that these artworks weren't meant for public display at all. They may have been personal, spiritual, or deeply meaningful experiences shared with only a few people, or perhaps with no one at all. Ancient humans also carried decorative objects, unusual stones, shells, and ornaments that served no practical purpose. These items expressed identity. They reflected personal taste and individual meaning. And wherever personal possessions exist, so do secrets. People begin protecting things that matter to them. But perhaps the strongest evidence comes from human emotions. Living in a group has always required careful social navigation. People don't always reveal exactly what they think or feel. They hide fears, manage reputations, and choose which parts of themselves others are allowed to see. That behavior isn't modern. It's deeply human. As societies grew and permanent settlements appeared, privacy became easier to create physically. Homes developed separate spaces, and personal boundaries became more visible. But the desire itself was already there. The truth is that privacy didn't arrive with cities, technology, or the internet. It likely appeared the moment humans became aware of themselves as individuals. Because from the earliest caves to the modern world, people have always had thoughts they kept hidden, feelings they shared selectively, and parts of their lives that belonged only to them. And maybe that's not just a feature of civilization. Maybe it's one of the oldest features of being human.